day. Every time Dick and Harry got something to say. But what they said ain't got no fabric to it. Ye takes the thoughts with dice right through it. It's all about rumors and people feuding. If we're not uplifting, then what we doing? Yeah, they love the culture, yet they trying to wreck it. But are we ready to go hard to protect it? If we don't stand firm, then we're sure to fall. Are you ready to fight the stain and accept the call? Or it's all about dealerships and the mall? Now I'm ready to go for broke like Apostle Paul. I'm charged with the task to keep it real. Moving straight forward, not about to yield. Tackling every subject, yeah, you know the drill. R.I.P. Guru, I bring that mass appeal. Our ancestors stood tall despite abuse. We got all the tools, so what's our excuse? It's time to show a face and take off the mask. It's something every yay, it's the podcast. 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 What it do, what it do, what it do. Welcome to another episode of the Something Every Yay, the podcast, episode 43. Or as my New Orleans folks would say, 43. Yeah, what's happening? Hey, man, look, it's crazy. Every time I'm trying to do something positive, that devil be on his job. But like I always say, the devil is a lie. They're not trying to let this thing go down today, but you know, it got to, because this is an important episode, special episode. Well, I'm kind of biased. I think all my joints special. See, a man must first believe in himself before he can get others to believe in him. Y'all remember that? I gave y'all that one for free. But check it out. Y'all know me. We got to do our little housekeeping things first. Now, if you have not subscribed by now, come on. Gots to be a hater. Gots to be. So go to YouTube, Danya F. Jones. You must put Danya F. Jones. Like, subscribe, share, comment, all those things. You got to do it. Why not do it? You can also follow me on IG, Coach_Jones32. Also on IG, Decola_32. I don't know why I ain't got my TikTok joint up there, but I'm going to get that up there. Don't worry about it. Definitely do that. Also, what I want y'all to do, ladies, it's summertime. It's summertime. Time to get that gear ready. I want y'all to go to Love Jones Legacy, www.theparsimony.com/Love Jones. It's a virtual mall. There's several stores in there, but go to Love Jones Legacy. She has a lot of great items at a very, very economical price. I mean, she got dresses, skirts, shoes, purses, hats, blouses, nightwear, bras, socks, jewelry. She got a few men items, not a whole lot, but definitely go there. To where her motto is, you could pay more, but why should you? And I mean a very economical price, very economical. So it's Love Jones Legacy. Definitely go there and support that. Also, you know how we do. Check out my man, Kevin Marshall, from More Than a Coach podcast. He come on Thursday night. Brother Coach, he just retired. I still say he ain't retiring. He's still going to be coaching. He say that. But he got a great show, have a lot of great guests. And also on Sunday nights, him and his wife, the Mr. and Mrs. Marshall podcast. This is a great. I'm going to tell you something. Sunday nights, and it's live. You can interact with them. They speak of love, life, and relationships. They would tell you they are not marriage counselors certified. They just try to share what works for them in their marriage. Great, fun couple. So check them out. All right, I'm going to bring my guests on. I'm going to talk about the show in a minute, but I did not put my pictures up. But I'm going to say this here. I had not watched the BET Awards in some time because it got a little bit too ignorant for me. Last night probably was the best show I've seen in a long time. What I liked about it first, that it was black tie. I love to see black folks dress up. And it wasn't no ratchetness. And they had some Ultimate Icon Awards to Snoop. Shout out to Snoop. Kirk Franklin, Mariah Carey. and Jamie Foxx. I mean, it was awesome. It was awesome. So if you didn't check it out, BET, they show things 500 times a year. So you can catch it. And now you can catch it on YouTube too. But it was a great, great show. But tonight, we're going to go here. Y'all know coming up is Father's Day. Now look here. Y'all know fathers, hey, we love fathers. But I think we take fathers for granted because, mamas get our love. And they should. Shout out to all the mothers. Mothers, hey, I understand. Mamas, trust me. Lost my mother. A couple of my guests have lost their mom. So I get that. But a lot of times being as a father, and I was like that too. I mean, I always loved my father, but I felt he'd be all right. But sometimes we downplay fathers. And society has really tried to put a negative light, particularly on Black fathers. But we're going to dispel that BS tonight. I know a gang of good fathers. But my specific goal tonight was to bring on young fathers. Young fathers. Young brothers doing their thing. And check it out. All these brothers married. Now, I'm not saying you have to be married to be a good father. Because I know some good. Why y'all calling? I know I ain't gonna answer. See, I'm telling you. Yeah, that was personal. I got something for you though. See, people be trying to mess up your flow. You can't mess up my flow. Don't y'all know? Don't y'all know y'all can't mess up my flow? I'm gonna let you go and have that one for free. So I'm gonna bring these brothers on. We got some young brothers, young, strong brothers that are fathers. Like I said, you don't necessarily have to be married, because I know some great fathers that aren't married. But I want to bring these three brothers on. Let me bring them onto the stage right now. Gentlemen, good evening.
Good evening.
Hey, what's happening? Hey, man, look here. I know all y'all, so y'all get the corporate stuff out y'all voice right about now. I mean, I know where y'all went to school. I know where y'all used to hang out with. All y'all got hood tendencies. So, hey, so this is a straight up show, man. But on real talk though, man, I'm glad y'all joined us. So I'm gonna introduce my guest. First, my man Steve White. What's up, Steve?
What's going on, Coach?
Hey, what's that? And let me get this first. How old are you, Steve?
32.
Wow, 32. Stop. You remind me about my age. Lord have mercy. All right, my man JD James. I call him Coach G. What's going on?
What's good, Yay?
You got it. Yo, now how old are you, sir?
I'm 38.
38. He's still a baby though.
Yeah.
He's still a baby.
Something like that.
Yeah. That's what's up. And rounding off the panel, my man Eric Smith. I call him E. What's up, E?
What's up? How you doing? Pretty good.
I'm good. Now how old are you, E?
I just turned 41 Friday.
You like? Oh wow! I didn't even know that. But They still some young bucks though. But I'm so proud of these men. I want to bring these guys on and talk about fatherhood, because Father's Day is coming up. So I'm gonna jump right into this. I ain't gonna prolong this. Individual, we can do this popcorn style, however y'all want to do it. Tell me, what was your thoughts? Because these gentlemen have multiple children. So what was your thoughts when your special lady told you were going to be a daddy?
I'll take that one first. Being the youngest, I'll take that one first. It was crazy. She called me right after practice. I was in college. She called me right after practice, and she was bawling, crying. And I'm like, okay, something's wrong. So I got to her probably about an hour later. I got to her, and I couldn't react. I couldn't feel. I couldn't think. If my first reaction was to tend to her, and she bawling like, we can't do this and then the third. So my initial reaction was to soothe and calm her and let her know no matter what, everything was going to be all right. And here we are, 15 years later, 4 kids later. So
okay.
I know for me, my first one, I was shocked. I ain't gonna lie, because we had got an IUD, so I wasn't expecting nothing to go on the
Oh,
first couple
okay.
years. So
Yeah.
when she told me, I was kind of shocked. Like, I thought we had an IUD. So, but I guess
Yeah.
he shot right through that. So
Now we talking about Squatter, right?
yeah.
Okay. All right, my man Squatter.
Junior, yeah.
Yeah. All right. E.
Yeah, I think for me, probably something like Steve. I went right into like what do I need to do for her? And thinking towards like the future. Like what does that look like? So I was just kind of tending to her, but then also like thinking ahead, like what do I do? Like I don't know what to do. How
Yeah.
do I prepare? How do I prepare for this? You know?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I had some similar thoughts because like James said, why am I calling him James? G, that's what I call him. So
Mhm.
so when you said, you thought you had an IUD, whatever, you want to wait a couple of years, but well, we didn't have an IUD, but I still want to wait. We got pregnant on our honeymoon. It was immediately. And it still was kind of like, still really, I know, I heard, yeah, I really kind of, I didn't say I didn't believe it. It really didn't get real till I saw the baby move and stuff. That's when I like, okay. So, okay, that's that's what's up. So I think you gentlemen said you had to you want to calm, your ladies' nerve down. Did any type of fear come upon you all?
I would say for me, for sure, for sure. Like I said, I was just thinking about like, because right then, uh, I think we was like in that recession era. There was a lot of uncertainty, um, and right then I wasn't really stable. I was more figuring things out. So yeah, there was some fear. There was some fear.
Okay.
It was definitely some fear, but it was the fear of the unknown,
Yeah, yeah.
the uncertain, like, okay, man, I'm playing college ball right now. Okay, I don't even have, you know, what am I, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? It was just all a bunch of questions, but I never put it on her. I never let her feel, that way she could make a decision not based on me.
Okay.
For me, yeah, I was scared. But I would say like I had a little bit of confidence. The only reason why I say that is because, I had a father, but I felt like it was a lot of things that I didn't get taught. So I figured like whatever I didn't get from my father, I could give to my son. So, that's how I kind of approached it. Like, whatever I lacked, I'm gonna just try to get to him.
That's what's up.
Yeah, that's interesting because you're never like really prepared. You have to base, because it's like on the job. It's like day by day you learn the different things. But even you could try to, like I say, if you learn something from your father or you didn't, or you learn what not to do, what not to do. But it was crazy for me because I was young, I still wasn't settled, but I still like to be in those spots at night, what I'm saying. So, but ain't like I was spending night outside the house, but I'm saying it was just more like I still kind of want to be out, and it was crazy because initially when the baby was born, that breast is powerful because that's the connection for mother and
Yeah.
and child. So I'm like, is she even tripping on me? But I ain't had no breast milk. So I tell my daughter now, I used to fool her. I put my nose in her mouth. She started sucking, and when no milk came out of there, she started crying. I said, "Yeah, that's my little shot at you, but not give you no love." But that was crazy stuff I used to do. Now let me ask y'all this: tough guys, were you guys in the delivery room?
Yeah,
Oh
of
yeah,
course.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
It was the scariest. I ain't gonna say scary, but I can still see it. I still see it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
scary.
me too.
It is.
Yeah. And did you guys have thoughts like, God knew what he was doing. We couldn't do this.
Yeah, for
It
real.
wouldn't be one human being on earth.
I
If it's up
swear.
to
Not
me.
one.
You ain't lying.
Not one.
Dude, yeah, it was like, man, and well, let me ask you, what was your lady's state of mind? Were they during the whole when they was in labor? Well, let me ask you this: how long was your wife in labor for any of your children? What was the longest?
I think the longest was probably like maybe like 15 or 20. It was pretty long. It was pretty long.
Okay, G.
Yeah.
Yeah, for my second one, we went in one day and then the next day he was born. So it took a while.
Yeah, it was something like that. Yeah.
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 Think about the longest. We went in one morning. I was about 6 a.m., 6, 7 a.m. I think Morgan probably came. My first probably came that evening. She probably was the longest, about 14 hours. About 14 hours.
Yeah, I think
Mhm.
I was like 20, like 23 hours, something like that. I know we went like it's 8 at night. And she was born at 6 p.m., 6 something the next day. So my question is, during that labor time, what was your wife's state of mind? Was she nice? Was she mean? Was she scared? What type of emotions did your lady show during that time?
So my wife wasn't. If she was scared, she didn't show it. After they had that first one, it'd be like, all right, walk in the park.
Yeah,
They know what to expect.
yeah,
My sister was there with my first child, so she kind of eased her, let her know what to expect, let her know, that you will get the epidural around this time.
yeah,
But the funny thing is, all my children, my wife thing was when I'm gonna get to eat. That was her thing. When
yeah.
I'm gonna get to eat and what I'm eating.
Right, right.
Yeah. I say for me, she was in and out. I say mixed emotions. Like, for the most part, she was calm, cool, collective. When she got them drugs in her, she was nice and happy and, kind of like joking with the nurses and stuff like that. She was kind of cool. And then but before the epidural, that's what it was kind of scary because it's like one false move and you could be paralyzed. So that was
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
scary. So, uh,
Yeah.
but we pushed through though.
That's what's up.
Yeah. Mine, she was pretty calm, pretty solid. I would say like the time leading up to the epidural, like right before that, I probably got a little more tense then, when she started feeling more of that pain and things like that. But I think like what James said, I think I probably remember the epidural part the most
Yeah.
because I was super nervous.
Yeah.
Just even watching that process and the needle going in and all that, that was kind of crazy. You got to stay super still.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's a lot. That's
Yeah.
thank God I'm a man. Thank God.
Yes, yes, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
kind of the same. It just when the contractions came, that's when the
yeah.
because she would say when they come, she would start saying here, 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 and it was coming. So I told you, like we was there so long. So when she finally got to sleep, the next one, really good sleep I said, okay, she's sleeping. Let me dip down to the cafeteria because I was hungry. Got a little one of them little machine burgers, microwave. So I guess when I left, another round of contractions came. So I came in the
Mhm.
room. Where are you at? Why are you thinking about food right now? I'm hungry. So she was going off, and then her father then came. They had a big bucket of Harold, and we were just talking. And she was like, "This ain't no party, y'all." Then she told her father, "I'll call you when it get here." I said, "It? I'm talking about my child." So it was crazy. So now I'm going to hold on. Let me show a few little photos here. We talking about these beautiful children you guys have, and we ain't even showed no pictures. Okay, I think this here you a little man.
Yep, that's Junior.
Get his do-rag on.
Okay, then you got
That's what's up.
yep. All right, now that's the squad I remember running on the court and the
Yep.
ball. Okay, yeah, okay, okay. It's the whole fam there. Then look, squad number 2. You're like he ready to take over
Right.
already. Yeah, I see. Little man just graduated in the 8th grade. That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, I need to talk to Miss Gorham because she need to keep you more in check, dog. Because I think you starting to fall off. You starting to fall off.
Man, please.
You falling off. Yeah, I love this kid here, Steve. Yeah, I think everybody in that
nice.
thing is box, except you, Steve. I think
Yep.
everybody in that yeah, that's
that's
what
a
That's a
dope
cool
picture,
photo
man.
right there. That's a cool
Yeah.
photo.
That's a dope
Appreciate it.
picture. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. And okay, y'all nice. Okay, nice and elegant. Nice and elegant. Nice and elegant. And now this like a little Cosby show. But see, man, everybody on that couch is just great, except Steve. Steve is like, no, Steve. I'm always gonna mess with Steve. Always going to Steve. Now I'm gonna jump around on this here. I got a few of these. Now see, and it's funny, man. And I'm gonna tell you, E, I'm told to tell you, man, your daughters are funny. They be low key sneak dissing on you and the missus. Low key. Now this is like a little old school joint here.
Oh,
Old school
yeah.
joint here. Old school. Them girls. I remember them sweet little girls. Them little girls. Now them girls be going in on me. They be going in. Let's give them one a little more recent. Yeah. That's what's up there. That's what's up. I mean, I love to see families, and I see the men just doing their thing. Now let me ask y'all this. Now, y'all know times are changing. They're changing in like warp speed. Now, you still relatively young men. What challenges do you think you guys have raising children now of things that wasn't prevalent when you guys were coming up? How things are changed so fast. What kind of things that are a little more challenging now? Stuff that your parents didn't have to worry about.
Our social media.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Our social media.
Yeah. Yep.
It's like you gotta monitor who they hang out with, of course. Okay, who house you going to spend the night? You trying to go where? They parents there? Now, what you watching? What you listening to? What they talking about? Who is that? Is this app for kids? It's a lot with the social media and technology.
Yeah.
Now.
I agree.
Sure.
And one more thing to add to that social media part. I think for men and fathers, they have to deal with the outside pressure of like what is a man, and what is a father, and what is a father supposed to be doing, what he's not supposed to be doing. It's like there's so many outside voices now on how you are to walk as a man, how you are to be a father, and things like that. So it's like even for as you raising your children, it's like it's a lot for them. Like because back in the day, you just worried about the neighborhood kids and whoever they was clicked up with, whoever they was with at school. But now it's like you got to guard your family against the world. Yeah. So it's like it's a lot going on. Yeah.
Sure.
To everybody's highlights they posting on social media, and they making it like a playbook for life on how to be a husband, how to be a father.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree with both of y'all, man. I would say like, having your child have their own mindset and not be influenced by so much of the outside, world and things like that. Just, trying to instill core values in them, to be themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would agree with both of y'all.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, man. It's like because I'm thinking like my daughter graduated in 2017, but it's like 8 years later, things have moved so fast even from then. I remember because this was me and my daughter was beefing hard. Her teen year was beefing, so I wasn't gonna get her no phone. The wife, and she talked me into it. Man, I went and I had had a letter, so she had to sign. I got to notarize the requirements for this phone. I'm serious because I said I'm confiscated, and I said there will be unannounced phone audits because I think she hated because at this time I was dean at Dunbar, and I was seeing so much stuff, and she said, "Daddy, you're not at work," and I said, "Yeah," and I look back now, I was. And I learned that we talked about it as an adult. Now I was being a dean at home. Now looking back, because I saw so much stuff, so I was like, I'm gonna get ahead of everything. So I would say, okay, give me a phone. I'm going through it, and I know I'm not mad that I did it, but there was a better way for me to do it. That's when a situation where you be on a job training. So, well, let me ask you this here now. So Steve and E, y'all have girls. So, what is that dynamic like? As you know, I know as they're getting older, now because boys are at school, obviously, so they're not at the age to be just flat out just dating. But how do you guys deal with that dynamic?
Man, the crazy part is, and it's no knock to nobody, but the parents are getting younger, and the younger have no sense. So these kids are exposed to everything, and I just pray that me and my wife, the way we think or the way we feel we have a relationship with our kids now, that they will come and talk to us or anything that they heard, we keep a open dialogue with them too, because we would rather them learn it from us than to learn it from these kids, because these kids are getting the tail end of whatever they're seeing or whatever they're hearing, and he's just running right to school with the next coolest thing, and it's scary. It's scary.
Yeah, it's rough.
It's true.
It's rough.
It's man. It's crazy. Like I haven't talked to your baby, like I said, at church. But all the girls at the church, I tell them. I told you the one, I forget the young girl, the usher Sunday, because she's about to go into authority, and I said, any little boy, you got to bring him to BT. You got 1,000 uncles and daddies here. I pretty much talk to everyone's daughter. I mean, because I think the biggest problem now, so many young girls do not have fathers.
Yeah.
And it's really, I know a couple young ladies, how it has affected their relationships later. I've seen that. And I know and obviously on the flip side, the power of some boys not having a father. They're trying to find that, find who they are. So I think that's very, very tough. Let me ask y'all this here. I know all three y'all working brothers. So how involved are you in school activities, whether it's sports, PTAs, parent-teacher conferences? How are you able to be involved?
Oh yeah. Now I'm not getting on the school parent council or whatever you call that, PTA, but I'm at my daughters are cheerleaders. I'm at those little parades for the community they do with their school. I show up to those parent-teacher conferences. I'm at those. So the teachers and the parents of the students, they definitely know, who my kid's father is.
Mm-hmm. I would say that I go to she's in track, so I go to meets and things like that, and like you said, parent teacher conference. I go as much as I can, and I'm a bricklayer by trade, and I travel a lot, so it's difficult at times, it's challenging, but I do think it's important to show face, and especially like I think with those parent teacher conferences and things like that, because I've noticed that teachers might talk differently to moms than they do with fathers and things like that. So it's like I don't want you to tell me how good of a personality she has or something like that. Like, she's my daughter. I get it. Like I know her, we want to know what kind of student she is, and how she acts, how she outside of us, things like that. or whatever issues or challenges you might have to improve and things like that. So, or what are her wins? So, um, I think it's very, very important to be as present as possible, um, and whatever works for your family, whatever works for
Right,
your family to do that. Yeah.
right.
I know for me, I don't attend a lot of the PTAs due to my job and my schedule as well, but I do. My son, he play basketball, so I do try to make it to all his basketball games because they on the weekends after I work. So I'm able to try to make most of those. But I am acquainted with the teachers and the coaches and things like that. So I do ask when I do see him, and
Yeah.
just to make sure he on point, and vice versa.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And just me being an educator, I know the importance because, like you said, sometimes teacher will talk to mothers a certain way, and like I said, obviously we know we have to work, we have to provide, but any moment, and I think even it's more important than going to the sporting events. You go to the school for like parents and council. If you, like I said, if you can, they need to know that you're not the mother's baby daddy. You're their father. This is my wife. We have a family, and it makes a difference how that teacher, unfortunately, how they treat your child.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because if they know now, okay, he got a family, and they know they can't just say anything or do anything regarding your child. So I think that's very, very important. That's why I'm like amped when I see somebody father come to the building. I just run to them, introduce myself because we don't see a lot of daddies. I've one because people may have to work, but some of these children do not have fathers. And I admonish people who are going to see this: if you don't have any children, but there are kids in your community, there are kids that are just dying for male figures, particularly in our community. We need to father the neighborhood. We really, really do. So I think that's also very, very important. Now, I know everybody love their kids. Um, Nobody play about their kids. That's universal. It's not a
Yeah.
race. It's not economic. It's not even mammal. You run up on a lion's cub or or something. They don't play about the kids. So let me ask you this: can y'all think of any situation where you had to go in and go off about your child, whether it's school, whether it's the store, somebody that you might have to lay hands on? In Jesus' name, of course. But somebody you had, or you've been fortunate not to have any of them situations.
I've been fortunate not to have any serious situations, I'll say, you know.
Yeah.
Well, let us judge if it's serious or not, because you
I,
messed up.
I haven't had to place my hands on nobody. I'll say that, you know.
Okay.
I haven't even had to threaten nobody. I think the biggest things is just my daughters coming home and this and that and the third happen. But you know, kids gonna be kids. You let the teachers know, the principal know. But I'll say to the max that I've dealt with, my oldest, she has a birthmark around her eye. So when she was a lot younger and wasn't able to tell people what it was, the first thing they'll say is, "Who hit that baby in the eye?" And I would always jump to defense. Like
Yeah.
that's just ignorant, you know. That is extremely ignorant. And my wife had to calm me down a lot and let me know people was ignorant. Because my first thing is to swell up because that's
Yeah.
stupid. Who would hit this child, you know? But I learned calm down from that. So that was probably most serious for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think I've been pretty fortunate myself. I think I think sometimes I think Danye, to your point, is like when people know that parents are in place and maybe that you have a certain type of parent, then sometimes things are less likely to happen. But I think I've just been sort of blessed. We've with I guess interaction with outsiders. Um, you know, I haven't had no serious issues where I had to come at anybody. Um, Probably more just like correcting people on how they deal with my children. Something and that's even like family. Like,
Yeah, no,
hey,
absolutely,
we
absolutely.
don't talk like that over here. We don't do that over here. We don't, like that, But I never had to go too far, It's
Good,
just more like correcting like a mindset, like, no, that ain't happening over here. We ain't
right.
doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, my man is similar to Eric's. I had got into it with one of the coaches. I felt like, now my son, I teach him tough love, but sometimes it ain't what you do, it's how you do it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And so, it was one incident where the coach I felt like he was kind of mistreating him. And I don't know if he knew I was sitting on the bench or on the bleachers or whatever. So I walked up to him and I told him how I felt about it and whatnot. And he was kind of shocked, kind of taken back because he didn't think, that I was going to pull
Mhm.
up on him like that. And so he kind of straightened his act up and he gave my son the respect that he deserved. You know what I'm saying? Because my son, he don't really bring no drama unless you bring it to him. You know what I mean? And so I had to kind of like, let him know. But other than that, it wasn't nothing serious. I had to put my hands on nobody before, nothing like that. But I didn't get into a few altercations where I just have to correct, like, hey, we don't treat them that way like that. You know what I'm saying? It's a way to do it. You know what I mean?
Right,
So
right.
Yeah, that was a nice way to explain it. But do tell, what exactly did you say to the coach? You said you had to pull up.
I don't even remember what I said to him, man. But I just told him like, hey, I kind of caused the scene a little bit. Like, the crowd got kind of quiet. Like, oh, okay, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
Listen,
Bro,
that's
this
what
is
I'm
the middle of the
talking about.
game. This sounds like this is the
Listen,
middle of the game.
listen.
yeah,
See, that's what I'm saying. See, um, I want people, yeah, because you're human, man. You're gonna
yeah,
happen. You can express yourself. It's
yeah.
some abbreviated podcast. You go to YouTube, Daniel F. Jones, like, subscribe, share, do all those things. We want to keep it real on this piece. So yeah, I feel you, man. It's funny you said that people got quiet. We went to a parent teacher conference at one point, and my daughter, she was struggling in math. And all the other teachers, they have their laptops out so they can show, parents, we know the grades, whatever. Her teacher didn't have her laptop. I said, where's your laptop? No, yeah, because she actually think she had got a D, I think. I think it was a D. So I'm really tripping. She said, yeah, that was last quarter, but she's doing fine now. Like, damn, let's talk about this D. Where is your laptop? She said, well, I said, no. This is what we're not going to do. You're going to tell me. I need to see. Because I'm thinking you could just say it. So she gets up, try to walk off. I said, no, you ain't gonna walk away with me. He's like, stop. I said, no, stop. So then my wife, we stopped, we talking. I guess the next thing you know, I'm going to talk to the assistant principal. So we're in there talking. Then somebody called her on the radio and says, we have an irate parent in the gym. So she said, hold up, Mr. Jones. So me and the lady, we walked out there and she said, tell him. Come to find out she was talking about me. I was the irate parent. So I just wanted to get some clarification. You know what I'm saying? So, and like I said, I've had to do it in different situations with coaches, even when she was in college. But I've told that story before. But okay, I'm just curious because I know people do not play. Now, did you ever have to tell any of your children, kind of say, well, hey, you can't go to this person's house to play with this kid because you may even love the kid, but you know what their parents is on. So, and it's how did you kind of explain to your child, hey, well, maybe they can come over here or you can't go there or whatever. Have you ever had that kind of dynamic where the kid don't understand because kids is kids and they don't understand a lot of times, but you know that what's going on or their parents' values doesn't align with yours. You kind of get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely. Now my daughter in junior high now, so she always want to go to some friend house, and we like, who is this friend? First, I don't even know them. And that's to her point. That don't matter. I know him. That I go to school with him, and we need to speak to somebody's parent, and she's always asking, well, can so and so parent come pick me up, and we go to Sky Zone. I need to talk to somebody. Morgan, you can't just go anywhere you want. So that's her biggest thing right now, getting into junior high, and she just want to be involved with any and everybody. But no, we don't do that over here.
I feel you.
Yes,
So,
sir.
Yeah, yeah.
Definitely got to have some communication. Like my son just recently, he graduated from 8th grade and he wanted to go to a party on 86 and Avalon. So I'm like, hold on, you know what I mean? Like, I know that area. So I kind of called his mom and asked her like what was the deal with, who crib he was going over and things like that. And she she kind of like, checked it out previously. So I was grateful for that. She had already scoped the same, was like, it's gonna be like parents involved, it's gonna be from like, 5 to 10. He's safe. I'm gonna pick him up when he get done, stuff like that. She had already talked to the parents. So but yeah, man, you definitely gotta do those checks and balances, man, because you don't know what be going on in other people's homes.
Yeah, you don't. You don't. You
Yeah,
don't.
and yeah, I don't want to. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and say this here. I just remember growing up, always, boys obviously can't spend out of girls' house, girls can't spend out of boys, or whatever. Well, at least in some houses they do that, but um, it's to the point now you can't just be routinely let a girl spend out of another girl house. You just
You
can't.
ain't lying. Yeah,
You can. I mean,
that's the
say
day
okay,
and
she
age
said,
we in.
yeah. I mean, you really, really can't. So it's pretty much like I said. You need to make sure that your values are pretty much
Fine line.
it's the same. Yeah, because
Yeah.
yeah, it's interesting, man. Now you hear a lot of things in terms of absent dads, absent dad, absent dad. They really, really harp on. But you see, if you just go around, I think a lot of times I'm not saying the numbers are totally wrong, but if you just in a community with a lot of black people, you see black fathers all the time,
Yeah.
all the time. Obviously, it's not like, you know, probably like in the past. So I remember something DMX said that really was shocking. He said, nobody in his neighborhood had a father. Nobody. Nobody. And I'm like, wow, just to think about that. Because I think about my community growing up, everyone, for the most part, well, at least in my neighborhood, had a father, but then everybody else, they father everybody else. I couldn't do certain things over here because Mr. So-and-so or Mrs. So-and-so. So for you all, are you kind of a father to other kids in your communities that may not have one?
I'm gonna start with what you said at first. It had me thinking. I grew up on 85th and Sangamon. Nobody on my block had a dad. Now that I think about it, it was some uncles around. A grandfather stayed, but no dad was on my block at all. Now that I think about it, but to your other question, not in my community per se, but I've been a coach for going on 10 years now. I've been in high school for the last 6. So I've had to mentor, step into roles for as a father figure for a lot of kids, especially when I coached it for King in the public league. So I mean, to working with a young man as far as an abortion, I had to step into that role. I stepped into a lot of roles of getting them to where they needed to be, taking them to pick this up for prom, and just little things like that. Definitely teach them how to be citizens, how to carry themselves in school. Hey, you play basketball, you got to be an example, man. You had to be an example for the school. You looked at different. Coming into practice, coming in the building, seeing how they interact with certain kids, especially young girls. You don't talk like that. Pull your pants up. Just things that they don't see.
Right.
That's good. That's good. I would
Yeah,
say,
man. I was
go ahead,
my
go
fault.
ahead.
Go ahead. Go
Go
ahead.
ahead,
Yeah.
Jane. Go ahead, Jane.
Oh no, I was gonna say mine is similar to Steve's, like as far as like, uh being around kids a lot. I used to work for CPS for 5 years. And then I used to do a lot of mentoring, and I had an internship where I was, kind of like a counselor. So I've been in a lot of roles, and I got nephews, so I play the uncle role pretty tight. Um, so not, I wouldn't say as far as my community, not per se, but I would say definitely playing a huge uncle role, mentor, coach, just somebody that the kids could come and holler at about some everything.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I would say the same thing. It's more like the mentor role. Um, um, and I've been a youth leader at my church. Um, and just like friends or close uh you almost consider them family, people who my fathers might not necessarily be there. Then like a child is getting, or son is getting older. It's more like a boy, a son is getting older, and so now there's certain talks that need to be had, or um something, your britches getting a little big, he ain't really listen to his mom, like, you know. So I've had to step into roles and had those talks that only a boy and a man will understand.
Absolutely.
um and I even seen in those conversations where the mother was listening, eyes get big, stuff like that. But it's like it's certain things that young men and boys and men that we understand, and there's certain language you got to use, um, that might sound harsh sometime, but we get it. And the boy, he needs that at times. He needs to know, like he said, James said, tough love. Sometimes you need it.
Yeah.
A boy can't be coddled all the time. He
Um,
can't be coddled. The world is not going to coddle him. So you got to prepare him for the world.
Mhm. Sure.
Absolutely, man. And I, like I said, I'm just thankful that, because I didn't, when I was doing it, I didn't even look at it as mentorship, even though that's what I was doing. But I was always doing. I was thinking about people over the years. There's not a time, like 2 days ago, I saw like three different students within like two hours. Three different students at different spots, and it's a it's something that money really can't buy. When you know you have put something into a young person, particularly a young boy too, particularly, and they may have looked at you as a father or as someone, and it's just a feeling, like I said. And I think that's what we're here to be. I mean, we're here to continue to pour into these young people. And when I look at you all now, I see myself, as I'm older now, see me in y'all with the stuff that y'all be doing, and how you guys can navigate through all the young people. So I think it's important. Obviously, you're going to be great fathers to your own children, but continue to do what you're doing, and you will be blessed. Just like you have no idea. You don't even realize a lot of times what you're doing. So now this is a kind of going back. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. The very first time you was alone with your infant child, infant, the first time you alone, I mean, infant. Were you scared? I mean, was you hoping that they sleep the whole time? I mean, because because you pick them up, they're small. You realize, you look at them like, every decision, everything I do is going to affect this little breathing thing. So the first time, I was thinking about that today. Do you even remember, or any time with the first time you really, it was just you and the baby?
Mm.
mm.
If your wives let you.
You know what? I don't think I necessarily like really remember it. I remember the feeling though. I remember it was coming. I knew it was coming. And I
Yeah,
remember just being scared. Like, man, I just don't want anything to happen. And I don't
yeah,
want this to be the worst time ever. Like this kid do everything that,
yeah,
every issue come up while I'm
yep.
watching them. Uh um yeah, but I remember just being real nervous about it. Cause I used to be even like scared to just hold them. Cause they
Yeah.
just seem so like,
Delicate, yeah.
man, yeah, delicate. I was super nervous about that. But um, yeah, I just remember the fear. I think what I did was I probably let her be in the car seat like the whole time. I didn't move her because she was asleep, and I just like, hey, look, I'm just gonna let that ride out.
Yeah.
You know, yeah,
I think
Yeah.
for me, it was the first time I think I was alone with my oldest was it was around like All-Star Weekend. She was born in January, so like a month later, I think I was along with her around All-Star Weekend, and I was just praying she'd stay asleep. I was praying I didn't have to go downstairs and make no bottle. I was praying I didn't have to change no. I was just praying she stays. All-Star game stuff was good back about 12, 13 years ago. Now they're not good, but
right,
yeah,
right.
I think it was around All-Star Weekend. Yeah.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, I would say the same thing, Eric. Just scared not to make a mistake. Like, hey, just
Yeah, yeah,
keep it simple as possible. If he cries something, rock him, or give him a bottle if he needed. But yeah, just try to keep it as minimal as possible. Try
yeah,
not to make a mistake. That was my first thoughts myself, man. So
yeah, yeah,
definitely
yeah,
can relate.
yeah.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, it's funny. I remember and for this one thing was crazy. This had to be my second. Yeah, this was my second year coaching, my second year teaching, second year, and I had a Chevrolet Z24, and the back they didn't have the seatbelt that could go over the car seat. It was like the kind of side, but it wasn't long enough. So I had practice, and I had practice, and it was and Derek. He was in high school, but Derek would come back and practice with the squad. So I was taking him home, and it was wintertime, so I had slid. We were just
Mm.
spinning. So I was like, "What? Stop it." For like 3 seconds, I forgot that I had a child in the car with me. I said, "Oh, snap." I look in the back seat. She just laying on the side. Her thing had turned. She on the side looking up at me. And she looking like, really? Really?
That's funny, man.
So yeah, it's always scary, but like I said, we all get used to it. Um, this is great. Let me ask y'all this. If y'all that I'm gonna tell y'all something. If you had to, well, two things. First, when you guys were talking about how when you first had a child, you was thinking about, hey, I gotta take care of this child. I'm not even established yet. And by you guys working and having a life, you know this by now. So I don't have to tell y'all this. This for those who listen. You ain't gonna never have enough money.
Mhm.
You ain't gonna never have enough money, no
Right.
matter what. It's all gonna be something.
Yeah.
And I tell y'all this here, you're not working just to pay bills. I mean, working hard, go on vacation, do all those things. But for those individuals who are becoming young fathers that are even younger than you or just newly, what would you leave them going into this great thing called fatherhood? What something that they can hold on to say, hey, this thing is real, but you're gonna be all right.
Good question.
Yeah. I would say one thing because I think it's going. I want to go back to what I'm saying. I was saying about pretty much like the this new age of social media and the influence it does to influence it for everyone. I would say to a young father, just do the best you can daily. Like, um, no one is an expert on this. No one there's n- I mean, there's such thing as a bad father, but I don't think there's a perfect father. I don't believe in any of that. I'm not the best father. I don't even consider myself like a good father. I'm just trying my best. Each and every day. Hopefully my children need less therapy than I need. That's it.
Yes.
You just trying your best. And what I've learned as I became a man is that what my parents did, they did the best with what they had. You know what I'm saying? So do the best with what you have and keep growing, keep learning every single day. Be honest, be transparent, be quick to say sorry. Um, because we don't know everything, and all you doing is trying to help that little person become an adult and make it in the world. So you just try your best. That's it. And don't listen to any outside negativity.
Yeah.
You listen to wisdom, love and support, but no one can tell you that you're not a good father, whatever, or whatever it is. The new rules for a father each and every day. How many parent teacher conference, how many things you can make it to. Everybody got to do different things.
Right.
Everybody got different jobs, different thing. Everybody got to do different things. You got to do what works for you. Just do your best. That's it. Yeah.
That's good, E.
Yeah.
I
I
would
would
say,
say,
go ahead, Steve.
wait, it's on you, James.
No, I was just gonna say, be present. Like my main thing is to be present. Like you won't have every answer in the book. You ain't gonna be, like you said, perfect, Eric. But I would just say, like, those instincts to kick in is the more present that you are. And like you were saying, yay, money, you ain't gonna never have enough money. So, your presence as a father is probably the most thing that's gonna be valuable to your kids, because you know what I'm saying, you can learn as you go. But as long as
Mhm.
you there, you know what I mean? Like, I was talking to somebody that was saying, my father, they was telling me that, their dad just gave them money all the time, but they weren't present for those like main events and things like that. And that's the thing that they wish they had. So I would just say, try to spend as much time as you can with your kids as possible. Because, like I said, you won't have all the answers. You learn as you go, you learn as you grow. And you
Mhm.
know what I mean? Like, those are the main things that I would instill to a upcoming father.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Think I would say use it. Use that child as motivation. Use it as, if you didn't have a why, till use that little one as a why. I think that's what worked for me, having a kid so young. It wasn't about me no more. So definitely use it. It'll give you a reason to push further, it'll give you a reason not to quit, give you a reason to take those risks. But I would definitely say, listen. As that child gets older, you're gonna learn by listening. Listen to that child, listen to the mother of that child, respect that mother of the child. That's big as well. You never want to be disrespectful to the parent, the mother of your child, for sure. But listen to them, because as they grow, and it's part of being present. As they grow, they're gonna change. And like, to
Yeah.
everybody's point, like what you said nobody, we're not perfect, and I don't coach this way, I don't parent this way, it's not my way or the highway. I'm still learning every single day. I learn from my wife, I learn from my kids, I learn from my players, I learn from the coaching staff. Be willing to learn, be willing to grow, because you don't have all the answers. And that's a whole nother human, whole nother personality that just not gonna do or like everything that you say, and be accepting of that. And to James' point, money does not make a father, man. Money does not make a father. I, thought that because they were smiling, me providing, they were smiling, I thought, that was it. My wife had to hit me with some harsh reality, like, you doing this, you doing that, but they want to spend time with you when you're in the house. You tired, this, that, and the third, but they just really want your time. They don't know what that costs. They don't know, ins and outs and all of that. So, be present. Money don't mean everything. Listen to that kid, but definitely use them as a why to keep going.
Oh,
That's
that's
what's up.
what's. So we're going what end this segment with this, but it's a video I want to show real quick. Then I'm gonna close it with some words. Let me put this on real quick.
Mfume, then the president of the NAACP. As between the presence of white racism and the absence of black fathers, I asked him, which poses the bigger threat to the black community? Without missing a beat, he said, the absence of black fathers. It was President Barack Obama who said, we all know these statistics, that children who grow up without a father are 5 times more likely to live in poverty and commit crime, 9 times more likely to drop out of school, and 20 times more likely to end up in prison. The Journal of Research on Adolescence confirms that even after controlling for varying levels of household income, kids in father-absent homes are more likely to end up in jail. And kids who never had a father in the house are the most likely to wind up behind bars.
Now, obviously, They said more likely. Nothing is 100% because I know people who had mother and father, and them suckers some straight killers. But nothing's 100%. But I will say this is for me being in education, I do see the difference, and I wanted to highlight that to obviously you guys. You love your wife, love your children, and for all those who watch to know how important it is. I remember Chris Rock had told a joke. He said, mothers, y'all great, y'all super, but nothing is more powerful than I'm gonna tell you your daddy. You know what I'm saying? When you knew you was the daddy at home, and you just didn't like when a daddy is there, and you know your dad, it just takes to another level. But I'm gonna say this. Hold on, let me take these off so I can see what I'm saying. Look here, man. I didn't just throw a lot of names in a hat and just randomly just pick y'all. First of all, I respect all of y'all as men, every last one of you. I've seen you guys grow into men. I've seen you grow as a husband. I see you grow as a father. But the main thing is being a man, and you are pillars and jewels. If you don't even see yourself that way, and I think you're an example. You're an example of what young Black men should look like. And I honor you. I want to lift you guys up because what you guys are doing, where the people say, well, they just doing what they supposed to do. Yes, it's your responsibility. But everybody's not doing what they're supposed to do. You see, men do what they don't want to do, not just because they're supposed to do it. It's a lot of things we have to do that we really don't want to do, but we know that's our job. So as fathers and men, man, I respect y'all. I'm thankful that you guys came on. And I hope as we celebrate Father's Day this weekend, I hope somebody gets something out of this. If you want to encourage you, if you have a problem with fatherhood, and I'm going to say this too, to my sisters, I'm going to say this. And I don't, all women don't do this. I'm talking about people who aren't married. If you have a man that's really trying to be in their child's life, don't put up roadblocks because he got another woman. Because what's going to happen, and don't be lying to that child, making that child think his father do not care. Because what's going to happen, as they get older, they're going to really start seeing, and they're going to resent you, and they'll have a whole lot of life left to resent you than the little bit of time that you stole from his father. And I'm not saying all women do that. I just know some situations. So if a man want to be a father, let him be a father. And I'm gonna say this too. I know I'm long-winded. I'm gonna say this too. For those men who choose to be with a woman, a married woman, who already have children, if you brought him in, let him be a man and discipline that child. I'm not saying let him, just beat him or mistreat him. But don't say that's my child. No. You brought that man in. That man's taking care of y'all. Let that man discipline that child. I think that's very, very important. But again, gentlemen, thank you for coming on. Thank you for coming on, y'all. I got my man James Gorham, strong brother, young brother, but someone who I have a lot of respect for. I've been seeing him doing this thing with my man, little Squatter. I'm supposed to be working Squatter out, man. So I don't know why you, I don't know why you playing. We could bring him over to the gym. I don't know why you playing, G. But
we got you.
Hey, dude, huh? Hey, you know what's up, man? Go ahead and bring Squad over, man. We can go in and get that thing going. Go and get that thing going. So for sure we gotta do that, man. And Steve, man, you already know, man.
Sir.
To see and you know, man, Miss Angela, your mom, she is smiling down. She is smiling. I know, and she would. I know. She knew Morgan. Wait a minute, your second baby did she get to meet her?
She did, but my baby was 2 months, so she don't remember her.
Oh, okay, man, she would have scored all them Rodney. Hey, I'm gonna tell a funny story real quick. Steve, we used to have these 7th and 8th grade games. We was in the 7th, and the other coach, Mr. Mathis, man, that's my man. But I knew we could probably beat them 7th and 8th. But then Steve hurt his arm. And and Steve said, "Coach, my arm." And Steve, I said, "Man, get out there." I thought thinking Steve was being soft. His arm was, come to find out, his arm was actually broke. But listen, this how much I love his mother. She called me and said, "Well, yeah, Steve's arm is broke." And as I said, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I said, "Yeah." And she repeated, "His arm is broke." The translation of that, Negro, my son said his arm was hurting. But it was never, yeah, but it wasn't. No, I felt so bad, but she didn't scold me, and she had every right to. But I loved his mother. Because that's why I tell most, I was so blessed at Prairie Hills because those parents, they allowed me to coach the kids. Allowed. And his mother rather, allowed me to coach Steve and to see what Steve is now. I'm so proud of you. You still owe me a game too to coach one of my kids, some of my teams. You still owe me a game.
I do. I got you.
You had car trouble. Yeah. Hey, yep. You still. In fact, you coaching one next year. I'm just gonna sit on the side. But
easy.
much love to you. And E, you already know, man. I remember from day being on youth choir and coming up, and what you're doing with our youth and ministry, man. Just you leading the same stuff that you're doing, and I know you get tired because you work, you're a bricklayer, you brick masonry, you still got family to raise, you're doing the church, so just you being a man and to see where you are, man. I'm so proud of you. We were supposed to be doing our thing. We ain't been out yet, but
I know, right?
This summer, man. But again, fellas, because when I see y'all, I get emotional, man, because I see that the devil's a lie, society's a lie. There are some black brothers doing their thing, and y'all are great examples of it. So much love to y'all. Thank y'all for coming on.
Appreciate having me.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yes, sir.
So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna close this out like this here. Now, I want to say this to all the young brothers out there, man. Look, if you choose to have these sexual things unprotected, there is a chance. So just be a father. Be a father. You may not want to be with a young lady, but be a father. Be a father. That's so important. I've been, like I said, and it's like, hey, I'm thankful. Did I want more children? Yeah, but God had other plans. But that girl in the back there, oh Lord, she get on my nerves. I promise she do. But that is my baby. That is my baby. And I've been blessed that she have an absolutely awesome mom. No way I could have raised her by myself. No way. It was just natural stuff that she just knew, just being a mother, that mother instinct that I had no idea. But my child, that's my child. The shirt there, she bought me one Father's Day a couple years back. It says, shirt I got on now. It says, prayer is a quick way. I think it's a quick way. It's a quick way to meet the Lord. But it said, messing with my daughter will get you there faster. So I love that shirt, that she got me. Yeah, and I've been fortunate, like I said, my pops, he passed in 2003, 8 years after my mother. And the good thing when my mother passed, the good thing that came out of that was me and my father got closer. And I didn't realize how much like him I was. I didn't even realize it. I did not realize it. I really, really didn't. And yeah, people, it was at one point in time I did have hair. At one part of time. But Pops, a salute to you for being a father. Just little thing, just going to work. Going to work. Seeing him go to work. I remember that. And that's something he was obviously just doing his job, but that means a whole lot. And I'm thankful that he was. My mother never, and my sister, both my mother and sister passed in a 4-month span. I told you all that story in 95, 4 months apart. but my father got to meet my daughter, and my daughter was 4 when he passed, and my daughter remembers him. She remembered him. So that's what's up. So y'all check it out. We're still going. I'm gonna end this first season sometime this summer. Everybody who's been supporting me, hey, much love to y'all. Because you don't have to do it. You don't have to do it, but you do. And I really, really appreciate it. So just go out there, definitely go to YouTube, Danye F. Jones. Like, subscribe, share. Just go through all of them. I have so many different shows. Like, this is why it's called Some NBA. I don't talk about one thing. I talk about a lot of different things. So definitely go out there and check me out. And we're going to keep this thing rolling. We're going to keep this thing rolling. Now, I thought I didn't have it up, but I'm going to go and say it one more time. Y'all, check out the BET Awards. Awesome, awesome show. A lot of class. They honored Snoop. They honored Jamie Foxx. They honored Mariah Carey. And they honored Kirk Franklin. It was a really, really good show. But as I always say, I will see y'all probably when I see y'all. You know what I'm saying? Holla. Much love to you. Love somebody, help somebody. Deuces.
Things going on in the world today. Every time Dick and Harry got something to say, but what they said ain't got no fabric to it. Yay takes and thoughts with dice right through it. It's all about rumors and people feuding. If we're not uplifting, then what we doing? Yeah, they love the culture, yet they trying to wreck it. But are we ready to go hard to protect it? If we don't stand firm, then we're sure to fall. Are you ready to fight this thing and accept the call? Or it's all about dealerships and the mall? Now I'm ready to go for broke like Apostle Paul. I'm charged with the task to keep it real. Moving straight forward, not about to yield. Tackling every subject, yeah, you know the drill. R.I.P. Guru, I bring that mass appeal.